Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Super Panda Adventures. And the last time we played, we got a bunch of stuff and we killed a boss and we got some climbing gloves and we can climb stuff now, and that was pretty sweet. And now, we're just gonna continue on our voyage of getting a whole bunch of optional things before actually continuing with the main story thing. Because there's a lot of stuff in this game. And this difficulty is actually kind of hard, so it is a pretty good idea to try and be prepared as much as possible for some of the things later on in this game, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, pretty much still just be careful, be very, well, use your shuriken pretty much as possible. Every now and then your magic will be this huge blue fireball, and I think that just means it's a critical hit like it is with the sword sometimes. I don't think it actually shows the damage number any differently, but it seems to imply quite heavily that it is some sort of critical hit because it happens quite rarely. So, there you go. It might just be from spamming the button enough that it just happens so frequently right now, but usually it's not a very common sight, but there you go. But let's keep going. Going to the right over here, and there is the second half of the Amulet of Life. This relic grants you natural regeneration when you fall below 50% of maximum health. And as you can probably imagine, that's really, really good, especially once you start putting points into health, which I will be doing after this level up. First, I'll be putting a point in crystal armor, so we have crystals around you for some extra damage, which is nice. And block mastery to get that block damage without shield durability loss, yes. And this is basically what the crystal shield is. I think it depends on what level you are, how many crystals actually float around you. But right now there's only 2. If you do it really early, you only have 1. And later on you get 3 and so on. But that's pretty much all we're going to do here for now. What we're going to do right now is actually go to Morello Mountain, where an old friend is waiting for us to see how life is, which is Mr. Alfonso.
Hello, Mr. Fu. Did you see me out lately?
Yes, she told me to find you here. Is everything all right?
Well, I was swimming in the lake all day, and suddenly these ugly metal things have shown up.
These ugly robots have attacked our village and have taken Princess Maya somewhere. Did you see her?
No, I was hiding from them in the water. The robots don't like water too much, it seems.
We have to get you to a safer place. If you stay in the water, your hands and feet will get all wrinkly.
You're right, but I can't leave without my family. They are in the house on the top of this mountain.
Sure, Mr. Alfonso, but you have to go somewhere safe. Where can I find you later?
I'll go back to the village. We have to repair the damage and build some defenses against the robots.
Good plan. I'll look after your family and see you in the village later. Take care. And I'm not sure where that accent came from, but there you go. That's Mr. Alfonso. He wants to see where his family is, which is understandable because, well, it is his family and everything just blew up, which is kind of scary. There is welcome to my floating tower, wipe your shoes, but we won't be able to do anything there just yet. So we're just going to go to the left here to see if Alfonso's family is okay. And that requires scaling a rather large mountain. And this mountain is actually kind of scary. There's a lot of enemies here, but there are also a lot of healing items just scattered all over the place, like those 2 over there, which can be quite useful because the bigger healing potions and the bigger shield do recover quite a bit. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be careful of in this place because there's just a really large amount of stuff. And fortunately, everything dies pretty quickly. And also, this is the effect you get when you get the shield, which protects you for 3 seconds, which you put 1 point into earlier in the game. It is kind of pointless right there, but sometimes if you're just surrounded by a bunch of stuff, then it's actually quite useful. But pretty much just be careful. Make as much use as possible from all the healing items all over the place. And you may have noticed a hole earlier, which I jumped over, which had a lot of coins in it, and we'll be going back for that in some time. But first, we're just going to make sure we have scaled this mountain properly, because Mr. Alfonso's family seems to be in trouble, and that is really quite sad indeed. These guys still just use your charge attack, which works quite well, except if you aren't very careful. And right now my shield's kind of low, but there is a cherry down there, which instantly puts everything back at 100, which is quite nice because I was already pretty much close to death right there. And that's kind of scary. But yeah, just keep scaling upwards. Everything should be alright. Just blobbies and magicians of some sort of voodoo magics, because only voodoo magicians have weird skulls on their heads, so there you go. I do like the little hats that the blobbies have, at least, because they look quite adorable. And I really don't like the shields these guys have, because they never look adorable. And it just wastes so much time, really. It's so sad, but we're just gonna have to live with it. Now, you can go left and right here. They both lead to the same location. I personally think right is a little bit easier, but either way just leads to the same place, really, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's not a very long walk, but if you go to the left, it's actually quite a bit longer than this was, so personally, I prefer left to right. And with that, I mean right to left, because I went to right, and I'm very good with directions right now. But yeah, keep going, keep going. There's a crystal there, but we can't really interact with it much. This magic crystal does not react to my touch. Maybe I need an item to interact with it. And that, I'm sure, is something we'll see later on. But it's nothing to worry about right now. We just have to worry about getting to Mr. Alfonso's family. And there is a very broken house over here. We press up. Nobody here. The robots probably captured Mr. Alfonso's family as well. I should go back to Bamboo Village and talk with Mr. Alfonso. And that is what we are going to do after we jump in the hole that I mentioned a little while ago. I'm just going to ignore all those guys because there's way too many of them. And jump in here. The moment you jump in here, there's actually a switch here which makes this block appear, which is kind of mean, but that's fine because there's a lot of money here, so that'll just have to recompensate our pain and misery. And a little platform there, try to jump on it and try to just hold left if you just fall down, because there's a red key here, which we will be using at a later time. For now, we're just gonna leave. And now we are going to Mr. Alfonso in town. I've briefly forgot what I had to do, but it came back to me. Back in Bamboo Village where we talked to Mr. Alfonso. Hi Fu, how are you? Did you find my family? I'm fine, thanks, but your family was not in the house you told me. But I saw them flee from the robots. They must be somewhere. Think for a second. Is there any other place where they could hide? Yes. Now I remember. There's a secret tunnel beneath this village to store goods. Maybe they're in there. That's a good idea. But how can I get in? I have the key. Take it and go down to the tunnel. Please find my family. Sure thing. You stay here and watch this pile of garbage. Hey, that's my house you're talking about. Yeah, see you later. And we get a red key, which will surely help us later. But thanks to the climbing gloves, we can get up here where the yellow key is residing. And with that yellow key, we can go through the door and grab a power orb. And next to the power orb, there is a little hidden area right here, which has the armor bracelet. Find the other half to unleash its magic as per usual. Which, is quite a useful item once we have the second half. But for now, we're not going to worry about it at all. We can almost get the second half of it. I was going to say we can get it now, but that's actually a lie. We can almost get the second half. But let's first just go here through the tunnel with the red key that was just given to us by Mr. Alfonso. And make our way upstairs to the land of misery. And there are a lot of switches in this place. And you pretty much have to press all of them to progress. Because otherwise we'll have to go back for this switch later to open the door right under us, basically. And that would be sad. So I'd rather not do that. Instead, make our way here, press that button to go down here, to press this button. Kill that guy. Because that opened this door right here. Now this place is kind of mean. There are a lot of switches here. If you press any of them, then blocks that block your way will appear. And there's only a moon here, so it doesn't really matter too much if you miss it, but it is kind of annoying when you miss it, because the extra experience is always nice. And speaking of extra experience, I do notice that I forgot to put points in my level up, and I like a lot of health right now. I'm pretty much just going to max out my health from this point on, because shuriken damage has been maxed out, and from this point, health is really, really useful. So, pretty much going to focus on that for now. You'll soon see why all of this is important. Like this, I'm kind of doing a very specific leveling route, but I'll talk over that later once we get to the scary parts, basically. But for now, climb up here. There's another hidden moon here. Not really hidden, but it's kind of annoying to get. But you have to hang on to this and then jump here, 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 and then here. And if those platforms break, you can just wait for a while and they'll just respawn again. So you basically have infinite chances for that one. The one with the switches, you actually have to leave the area entirely to reset the switches, so that's a little bit more annoying, but fortunately that one went okay. Nothing went wrong there, and even if we didn't get it, then I probably would have just continued anyway, because it doesn't matter too much if you don't get it. It's just, the more experience the better right now, really, because I want as much health and nice things as possible. And for that, we are going to need a bunch of experience. But fortunately, we are pretty much on the right pace. This jump is really scary because these spikes are really good at hitting me. This is probably one of the few times I've ever managed to get over that hole without just getting hit by accident and feeling really sad afterwards, because those things deal quite a bit of damage. They do like 20 to 30 damage per hit. And that's quite a large number when you consider how much health I have in total. These guys still annoying, but fortunately shurikens take care of them quite easily. Now these two buttons actually have the same purpose, so I want to get all the items before falling down here, because it's not very easy to get back up again. And from here, I'm just going to make as much use as possible from the fact that magic goes through walls, because that is really, really quite useful indeed, as you may have already noticed. You can pretty much hit everyone from everywhere with magic, because the range on it is quite ridiculous. It's probably around one screen long. You can actually see it disappear after a while, like right there, but it is definitely the longest range of anything we have right now. And my health is really low, so I'm just going to be very cheesy and kill that one with magic, which takes us to the end of this tunnel, where there is another power orb and Alfonso's family.
Oh, hello, Mr. Alfonso. Oh, is that you? I'm so glad you found us. Is my husband okay? Mr. Alfonso's great. He's currently repairing your house in the bamboo village. But fantastic news. Me and my kids were so worried about the robots. I'll handle the robots. You can go back to the village now. It's safe. You have my thanks, Fu. Go ahead. We'll be at the village in no time. Glad I could help.
And glad we are. And this is just the same statement again. But we got a bunch of power orbs, and I'm going to put 1 point into the Twin Blade Star, which turns it into the Triforce Blade. 3 blades do more damage than 2 after all. And it stays in the air for a little bit longer. It probably deals more damage as well, but I'm not even 100% sure about that. But the more important thing is that it looks cooler. And that really is all that matters. That is enough of a reason to put the 2 points into quite that particular point. And having done that, we can talk to Mr. Alfonso right here.
Oh, I'm so glad you could find my family. Of course I had to. It's a horrible thought of not knowing how your family is doing. I want you to have this as a reward. It's a very rare feather I found while rebuilding my house. You got this star feather. You can now use hovering jump pads in the world to give you a boost. What an awesome present. Thank you, Mr. Alfonso. You'll save my family and my life. It's the least I could do. Yeah, another thing. Go to Meow's house to the right. She told me something about an important mission. Wish you well, Fu.
And that gives us this, which is really cool because it actually helps out a lot to have this in the following areas. Just doing this immediately just saves a lot of backtracking later, which is pretty much the main reason why I got it this quickly. And this is also the first quest we actually have completed, where it actually says quest complete, which is cool. So let's talk to Meow. I'm glad to see you're doing alright, Fu.
Thanks. I'm also glad to see you again, Meow.
Remember when you destroyed that gray machine for me in the Blobby Forest a while ago?
Yeah.
I've managed to track down one more of these, and I've figured out what their purpose is.
So what are these machines doing?
They are sending out some sort of signal that causes creatures around to get headaches.
So they are headache machines. Alright, where's the other one you found?
Get inside the Eternal Tree. Climb up, look for the big machine inside, and destroy it. Good luck.
And that's our next mission. But we're gonna keep that for later, because the Eternal Tree is kind of like the last place I want to go for now. That was very important to me. So right now, I'm just gonna go to the shop because we do have a large amount of money. And I'm gonna spend it all on experience. It is actually quite useful to have some money just at hand to buy some other stuff as well. Like the cherry is pretty much always useful. And it only costs 25 as well, so it usually is worth the money if you're actually running low. But for now, we don't need it, so not gonna bother with it too much. Now, let's see. I am going to the Eternity just briefly, because there is actually a nice person who I want to talk to before we continue on. Because he has some very nice things to say to me, and I like to listen to his kind words. And he is just to the right here after getting rid of these guys who are blocking our way, which is not very nice. I'm just going to get all of this stuff because extra stuff is always nice.
And there's a wizard and more of these things, which we still cannot really interact with at all, which is quite sad, but this guy's pretty cool. Hello, Quentin. Why do you have a carrot on your hat?
I don't have a carrot on my hat. You're crazy.
Have you been drinking too many magic potions again?
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for Princess Maya. Have you seen her? Some robots, perhaps?
Your question is utterly ridiculous and out of place. Would you like some strawberry tea?
No thanks. After drinking your tea last time, I was able to hear colors and the world seemed to melt.
Wait, perhaps you can help me with a problem. I've lost my glowworm. Have you seen it? It's glowing.
No, I'm afraid not, but I could help you looking for it. Where did you lose your bug?
Come to my floating tower in Marilla Mountain. It's probably somewhere in there.
And that is one of our next goals. Now, for now, we have a lot of things we could do. I'm gonna go to Vanilla Rock because Vanilla Rock is a pretty cool place. And it's probably the easiest choice right now. It sort of actually continues on the main story as well in terms of things that Tyler told us to do, which is go to Vanilla Mountain and climb the top and see if there's stuff going on there. And that is exactly what we're gonna do because there might be stuff going on. More of these creatures hanging about, which is kind of scary. But fortunately, when we run, they are not too scary after all. And yeah, the health upgrades are quite useful, and it is also worth noting that the Amulet of Life thing that we got, it starts healing us the moment we reach under 50% health. And this also means that if we start leveling up our health, like our maximum health, then obviously the more health we have, like it'll just start being effective quicker. Like when it reaches level 10 and we have 200 health, it'll start going into effect once we have under 100 health, and that's just really, really useful. As you can probably imagine, even if there's not a lot of healing items around us, we can just stand around for a while and wait for our health to regenerate. And yeah, it's just a lot safer in my opinion. Especially for some of the stuff that's going to happen later as well. It's just nice to have some health in the back, just in case stuff goes horribly wrong, which I'm honestly expecting it will, because I know it's going to happen. So yeah, I am going to make every preparation I can, which includes killing these guys. Even though there is not really a reason to do so, the extra experience never hurts, and the extra coins never hurt either, because it allows us to buy more experience, and the more the merrier. Now this is one of the reasons why I got the jumpy thing first, the feather, because it just allows you to get to some extra places with a lot more experience as well. And there are just a lot of these tiny little areas where they're not really necessary, but they do actually help out quite a bit. And something you may have noticed is that there's a cherry here, and I'm going to pick that up now, because having more health is always nice, and it was kind of a waste to break all these boxes afterwards, but there you go. Sign here, nothing here really. And that is pretty much correct, so we are just going to leave and continue going upwards. Or fall down, that is also a very good possibility, but rather, I would like to go upwards, so I'm going to continue in that direction for a while. And pretty much just be careful. There is some healing items to the right, I believe, so just going to go there after destroying everyone. I was wrong, they were experienced, but those are pretty much healing items as well, because I am about to level up. Maybe I can keep the combo going. Nope, I can't keep the combo going because I failed to jump. But if one does not fail to jump, then you can keep the combo going for a pretty long time here because there are a lot of enemies over here. And sadly, that's where it went. But fortunately, did level up just now, so just going to put 2 more points into health before we continue on in this direction where there is some more shield. It is kind of a shame that levels up don't make your shield go up, but it's fine, really. The extra health from a level up is usually enough to keep you going for a little while longer. You do take considerably more damage, I think, when your shield is down to 0, though, compared to not having it be 0. So I'm going to go up here and get this cherry, because that's what we got the jump feather for. There's another little area, which, again, isn't necessary, because all there was up there was a cherry and a moon. But they're both really useful, so there really is no reason not to do this first, because it is a little bit tricky, I guess, but honestly, I think this area might actually be trickier than getting that feather. It's not really obvious that that's how you get it, but, you know. Alfonso was there, and we might as well help him out, because he's a cute little mouse, and he looked like he needed our help in it after all, so it is worth going after the
problems of tiny mouse people before going after the somewhat more important things for the greater good, I guess. But, you know, it's good to be prepared for the greater good after all. And there is a very large robot army trying to kill us, so again, it is very nice to be prepared for these kinds of things. But we are pretty much nearing the end right here of our little escapades on top of these mountains. And that shield is always nice. Get the power orb, because why not? It's there. Never hurts. And there is a rock. Magnificent. And what is this? This stone looks like it has come from another world. You got a black stone. It's like, how much more black could this be? And the answer is, none.
Oh wow, this place looks so colorful. Much better than my home world. Wait, who's there?
Ah, are you a ghost?
A ghost? No, but it seems I'm trapped inside the stone. My name is Fiona, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Fiona. I'm Fu, so how did you get inside this black stone?
I have no idea, but there were a lot of machine men around when I got trapped, and a spaceship.
A spaceship? Is that how these robots have come to this world?
What's going on? I'm suddenly feeling very weak. It seems like I'm fading away.
Fu! No, wait. Dang it, she's gone. Maybe Tyler knows a way to restore the power of this stone. And Tyler has all the answers to all of the world's and universe's questions, so once again, gonna make our way up to Tyler. Still very grateful for our climbing gloves because it just makes everything go so much faster, and I very much appreciate it indeed. So let us talk to Tyler over here. Tyler, how are you doing? Tyler, you must see this. Look what I found. What is it? You found a rock. It's a talking rock from another planet. You found a talking rock from another planet. Yes, there seems to be some kind of spirit locked inside. Do you know how I could power this thing? A spirit. I once heard a legend about a spirit water flowing in a fountain in the desert. Spirit water? In the desert? That could work. Thanks, Tyler. I'll explain everything later. I'm sure you will, Mr. Panda. Go to the Sunshine Desert if you're looking for that fountain. Good luck. And that is exactly where we're going after climbing up here, because there is another thing to jump up on, and we immediately fell down because this guy is somewhat awkwardly placed, I'm gonna say. But fortunately, those things start working again pretty quickly after use, so didn't really need to wait too long. And it's not like there's anything really scary up here anyway. That's why I'm dying so quickly, just to prove a point of how non-scary this place is. Until you reach this guy who is like, what is going on here with your hockey mask and your scary little axes that he has an infinite amount of. Fortunately, he cannot actually throw them down very well. So I'm just going to be very safe right now because I am apparently nearly dead, and that bothers me a bit. Because obviously I'd rather not be dead. So gonna be a little bit more careful, and instead gonna show you the game over screen, because that's what happens when you touch him and take 57 damage in one hit. So I'm just gonna video edit my way back to him again, and I'll see you there. And here we are again, a second chance against this awful monstrosity who is very keen on trying to not get us to the right here. But fortunately our shield activates just in time, and I'm just gonna whack him to death and hope that he doesn't kill me, which is a pretty reasonable strategy. It is actually just a lot safer to just use the shuriken, but it is a bit quicker to just whack at him if you have the health for it, really. And because I actually secretly bought a cherry before going here, I had just that, so there you go. And I got like a 48 experience bonus because I had a really large combo going on there. But anyways, this is the Tome of Experience. Find blah 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 blah. So that's pretty much all there is to do here. The rest is just a dead end, so having done that, I think it is time to end the video here. Once I have reached the nearest save point, which is pretty nearby, and which is right here, in fact. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. The next time we play, we are going to go to some extra areas that we've not gone yet, like that fountain that Tyler was talking about. And we shall see if that indeed heals the spirit of the stone we talked to earlier. So see you next time. Bye-bye.